And I fortunately knew a little magic. It's a talent that I always have possessed.
Magic. That had vocal fry. When I tell y'all I love this song, this may be, if not my top three favorite villain Disney songs. Maybe top 3 Disney songs outside of Hercules. You know, I'm using my girls, but you know, outside of that, this song, this character, I've always loved this song. The characterization, the storytelling, how she sings it, it is such a good song. I've given this out to a few clients of mine over the years and a few of my college students over the years, but I don't give this out a whole lot. But I do give it out when I feel like the person can do it justice, because it's not just about singing the song and singing the notes. It's about really selling this character. We'll get into that a little bit. So let's dive into one of my favorite Disney villain songs. Woo, let's do it.
My dear, sweet child, that's what I do. It's what I live for, to help unfortunate merfolk like yourself. Poor souls with no one else to turn to. I admit that in the past I've been a nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a witch.
Nasty. She had a little breath in there on the word nasty. Nasty. I admit that in the past I've been a nasty. It's like she added an H before the STY of nasty. So she added a little tiny phoneme just to give that, it's so sly. Oh, I just love it.
But you'll find that nowadays I've mended all my ways, repented, seen the light, and made a switch. Yes.
True, yes. That's that vocal register shifting. So you see the pacing is kind of a push and pull with the beat, as well as the pacing of her words. So both the instrumentation and her, they're both kind of going back and forth, kind of like this way. You're kind of doing that kind of push and pull with each other, if you will. Pat Carroll was a genius for this song, among many other things, but her voice for this character in this song, it is just so good. She is one of a kind. Shout outs to Pat Carroll. I love how she manipulates the registers in this song and really uses a wide part of her range in this song. And she has such a deep voice. True. Yes. I can't even do it quite like her. I feel like her voice is probably deeper than mine, to be quite honest. True. Yes.
And I fortunately knew a little magic. It's a talent that I always have possessed.
Magic. That had vocal fry. And I fortunately know a little magic. Magic. You see what I'm saying? It was magic. It had a little vocal fry. Magic. That word is important. That's why she kind of emphasized it differently. You can emphasize words differently than making it louder. You know, you can emphasize words by vocal color, dynamics, making it softer, maybe changing the vocal sound altogether or making an abrupt change. Like, there's different ways to make certain words stand out, you know, or emphasize certain words. In this case, for the sake of the plot and for the sake of what's happening in the song, in this part of the plot, if you will, that magic word was a key component. And unfortunately, no little magic. It's like, I got something for you.
And here lately, please don't laugh. I use it on behalf of the miserable, lonely, and depressed. Pathetic.
You see how her voice changed on pathetic? Pathetic. But when she was singing to Ariel, it was it's more melodic and a little bit more kind of more thin folds, a little bit more sly. Versus like this, pathetic. You know, it gets a little bit more matter of fact when she talks to her little minions over there.
Poor unfortunate souls in pain, in need.
Vibrato, poor unfortunate soul in pain, in need. She didn't do vibrato before. This is the first time you hear vibrato in this song. Everything was da da na 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 na. But now, poor unfortunate souls. It gives warmth. Poor unfortunate souls. Oh, in pain. It's kind of like a cry. In need. Oh.
This one longing to be thinner, that one wants to get the girl, and do I help them? Yes, indeed.
This one longing to be thinner, that had a little bit more of a twang in it. Like a higher larynx. This one longing to be thinner, that one wants to get the girl, and do I help them? Yes, indeed. Then she opens up her vocal track on yes, indeed, and gets lower. This song is so low. Way low. Man, I'm having trouble singing it.
Those poor unfortunate souls, so sad, so true. They come flocking to my cauldron crying, spells, Ursula, please, and I help them. Yes, I do.
And I help them? Yes, I do. Vocal color changes again. She really changes the shape of vocal tract. She goes high and low in pitch. She goes more wide and more narrow, more twang, more higher larynx, all these things. Adds a little nasality sometimes. She does a lot of manipulations to bring out the character in this song. You can hear it. We keep pointing it out every time she does it. You can hear it.
Now it's happened once or twice. Someone couldn't pay the price, and I'm afraid I had to rake 'em across the goals. Yes, I've had the odd complaint, but on the whole, I've been a saint.
Though a heavy I complain, but on the whole I've been a saint. You see, she's kind of whispering, talking, kind of a speech-like talk with phonation. Though a heavy I complain, on the whole I've been a saint. She kind of brings the depth back on been a saint right there.
To those poor unfortunate souls.
Souls. She adds the slide there and then gets the vibrato at the end of the slide. Souls. And then sings the L and the S on the end of souls.
Without my voice, how can I?
You'll have your looks, your pretty face. And don't underestimate the importance of body language.
Now you see, she's like, girl, oh my God. She's getting a little more antsy in the character in her voice. So you hear a little bit more body language. You'll have your face. You'll have. So she get a little bit more sarcastic. Before it was, no, little magic. It was more thin-fold, retracted, more wide vocal tract. But now it's getting a little bit more compressed, a little bit more bitey in the sound. Because her disposition is changing because she's like, oh my God, just do it. Just do it. Sign the scroll. Do everything I need you to do. Stop questioning it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
The men up there don't like a lot of blabber. They think a girl who gossips is a bore. Yes, on land it's much preferred for ladies not to say a word. And after all, dear, what is idle prattle for? Come on, then. Not all that impressed with conversation.
Also, the consonants are more picked up. And let me say this. She's pronouncing every single word so clearly. But here, the consonants, the T's and the S's and everything, they're a little bit more percussive, a little bit more fricative than before. They were more smoother, more kind of like buttery. But here, they're a little bit more conversation. She's kind of giving more emphasis to the consonants too than before.
True gentlemen avoid it when they can. But they dote and swoon and fawn on a lady who's withdrawn. It's she who holds her tongue who gets a man. Come on, you poor unfortunate soul. Go ahead, make your choice.
Make your choice. She's even more, here. Oh my gosh, make your choice, girl, do it. She's trying to convince her and be persuasive, but also she's like, oh my gosh, do it. I'm antsy. So both things are happening right now in the character and in the plot here, in Ursula's disposition, if you will, you know?
I'm a very busy woman and I haven't got all day. It won't cost much, just your voice. You poor unfortunate soul. It's sad, but true. If you want to cross a bridge, my sweet, you've got to pay the toll. Take a gulp and take a breath and go ahead and sign the scroll.
Do you hear her consonants? Sign the scroll. You can really hear every single word that she's doing. She's adding a little compression. Go ahead and sign the scroll. And it's almost like she's adding air pressure to the consonants too, to really give it some more punch, to kind of give it to that antsy, more like, come on, you know, kind of vibe that she's doing right here. So she's giving air pressure, or added pressure to the consonants, to the plosiveness or the frigativeness, if you will, the friction of the consonants themselves. So it has that bite that I keep talking about, that bite with that twang or ping that I referred to before.
Flotsam jetsam, now I've got her, boys. The boss is on a roll. This poor unfortunate
unfortunate. It's not unfortunate. We say unfortunate, but she said unfortunate. So she added a more focus ooh on the U of fortunate. Unfortunate soul.
Aruga, Savruga, come winds of the Caspian Sea. Now Larynxus, glossitis, next laryngitis, la voce to me.
Wait, hold on. Let me look up something. Hold on. Okay, so did you hear what she was saying while she was getting everything ready to take Ariel's voice? There were certain words in that kind of insinuated what was happening. I ain't gonna get the words right, but I'm gonna tell you what I heard. It's something like laryngitis, but larynx, la voce, voice. She's saying something that has to do with the larynx, the voice, give me your voice box, something like that. I don't quite know exactly what she's saying, but it was something to that effect, which is really interesting. I never noticed that until I listened to it just now. Yeah. Now sing. That sing. It was almost like a growl, like a whisper growl. I can't quite do it like she did. Now sing. And the sing had direction to it. Now sing.
Keep singing!
I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed watching it and breaking it down with y'all. And as I will forever say to you, be vocally bold, creative, and aware, but most of all, be vocally you. I love you, and I will see you soon.